What's going on, everybody? Non-TCG here, and it's time to go through Pokemon Center ETB prices, and we have some interesting price action this week. Last week and the week before, everything was kind of to the moon. This week, it's a little bit different. Some are up, some are down. The promos themselves are up pretty much across the board, but let's walk through it here very quickly, and through some pictures in here just so you guys have something to look at as opposed to just straight text. So the SV base, the right on, is up. It's up about $2 versus the day after Christmas. I want to go through these, and let's go through the quantities as well, because I think one of the things that's interesting is we're starting to see some quantity, some supply come out of the woodwork. In fact, pretty much across the board, the supply for sale is up on Pokemon Center on everything except for Shrouded's down a little bit, and we'll get into that one, but really surging. So it's either flat or it's up across the board, and that's really reflected in pricing. So with the Koraidon, we're up $2. The Rhydon, we're down a little bit. Now that $195 was a little bit of a spiky sale where there was not a whole lot of volume, and there was some buying coming in. Paldea evolved, up to $245 from $210. This is to be expected. Because the price of the booster boxes is $195. It's going to be probably $210, $225 here shortly. So not a big surprise there, especially with the shiny Pikachu promo. And we'll talk about this one, but it's up over $120. So that's makes a lot of sense there. Obsidian Flames up to $260. Again, promos driving that one. 151, well publicized. I think this one had a sale at like 280, or I'm sorry, 380, something like that. Back down to 325. And I think what's interesting is, let's undo that. Is the volume of this was in the 30s for a while. Now it's back up to 54. So there's a good amount of this coming, and I actually see a lot of this selling on Facebook groups. So while it's cool, the Snorlax is right around $130 right now, a little bit higher in near mint. It's probably at a reasonable spot. The two Paradox Rift, Roaring Moon, and Iron Valiant. Again, there's a lot of this out there relative to the rest of the Pokemon Center ETBs. But these are probably some of the ones I'd be looking at. And again, you look at the price returns. This is just an 82-day period. 80% set, or 86, 82, 80. 39 on the 151 and the Roaring Moon, 37 on the Iron Valiant. Then you get the Paldean Fates, down a little bit to 153. The sealed cases are up through the roof because there's not that many out there. But the Mimikyu's, it's kind of a mid promo. You get down to the two Temporals. Now these are starting to move a little bit. And Walking Wake was up at 114, a little bit of a spike there, but we're staying consistent 111, and the Iron Leaves at 110. And part of the reason is Temporal Forces is at like $170 now. Now there's a ton of this available on Pokemon Center, so there's a little bit of a cap on what they'll sell for on TCG Player. But again, my thesis is it's just staging due out to distro. And we've actually heard rumblings that there's some pretty exciting things coming in the next couple weeks that to quote our rep, you'll be thrilled to hear. So what that is, I don't know yet. But it's definitely something coming, and it's not 2-year-old shitty tins. So that's good. Moving on, Twilight Masquerade is up to 84. Buy these as quickly as you can, and the reason I say that is you look at the supply of these was 42, and these were at $80, whatever. But you have the most supply you're going to have ever for these available at 188 because we had the sale a couple weeks ago. So, everybody got in at $59.99 plus tax. But the supply is up 350% since then, and the price is stagnant at 84. But the booster boxes are $185. We're kind of through the reprint window for now. These recently sold out from Pokemon Center. If you want to buy them, now is the time. No different than what I said. The time to buy Surging Sparks was now 4 weeks ago because there was 184 on the market, and they will get picked up and bought. And ultimately the fact that these are trading for less than half of the booster box, they're probably undervalued. Moving to Shrouded, $76 here. Now, what's interesting is the volume. The supply is down to 37. 37. It was 70 about a month ago. So I think people are starting to open this to get the Petra run. And I haven't looked to see what the PSA 10 sells for, but it's probably selling for, 100, $150. So it's interesting because I would imagine people are just going to buy them, rip them. Yeah, some pretty strong singles in the set, but there's still over 20,000 of these available. So, again, me personally, I have probably 20 cases of them here, but I want to wait for the next promo to come out from Pokemon Center so I can start ordering these, a case at a time, get the free promo, and get my cost basis down. So, Stellar Crown, these have gotten absolutely batshit crazy. Up to 122. These were 177 last week, 100 before. 78 in October. This is right around when they sold out, but we're up 55%, and the volume's down to 36. And yes, these are still available in the UK. There's like 8,000 for sale, but at $122, I don't think there's a whole lot of downside because even if you manage to find a way to buy them in bulk and ship them over here, and you pay fees, it's not even worth the time. So moving to Surging, this is the big one. So again, it's $124 a month ago, $147 now. So you're 131% above, what this is, the $59.99 plus 6%. But what's interesting is the supply in the market is really starting to dwindle. So you had 184 a month ago, 112, 107. So as these numbers start to decline, this is a $200 booster box all day long. Or I'm sorry, it's a $200 Pokemon Center ETB all day long. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to be there. If the booster boxes are $250, these belong at $200, especially when the promo, the Magneton's going for $62. So let's walk through the promos. And, added this one last time. So now we have a little bit of trend. So the Crydon's up, $3. The Miraidon's up $8. The quantities are about the same, up a little bit. The Pikachu, this is interesting, was 71, which seemed like it was a little bit artificially deflated last time. Now we're at $120, which is about where it should be. But the quantity's gone from 16 to 7. So, a little bit of a buyout on this one. The Charmander, up $5. Quantity's about the same. Snorlax is up to 129. 34. A few more of these available. As these prices go up, it's going to shake a little bit more loose. Roaring Moon, Screamtail, up to 40 from 28. A little bit of it, or actually the same quantity. The Iron Bundle. This is actually down to 19, which is interesting. Probably a good time to buy some of these. 25 available still. Mimikyu is at $36. The quantity of this is up a little bit. Paldean Fates is weird because it almost feels like people are ripping these just because it's so hard to get Paldean Fates product. And, obviously the promo's mid at best, but I think there's a lot of them on market quite simply for that reason. Walking Wake and Fluttermane and Iron Thorns, they're about the same. Quantities are up a little bit. These two temporal ones are two to look for, I think. Teal Mask Ogerpon, the quantities come down a little bit. I wouldn't even pay attention to this. I would just buy the PC ETB just because there's so much of it out there. Petrunt, 22 down from 25. Quantity up a little bit again. I think people are ripping these at this point just, for the promo and for some of the hits in the pack. Noctowl, 31 down from 35. But what's interesting is these are actually selling quite a bit. So there's only 35 of these left. So there's a lot of tailwinds on Stellar here, and on the booster box in general. I just checked; they're like $157 on Pokemon or on the TCG Player, and we're about to go under 7,000 units available. So once this one's gone, this isn't getting a reprint for a long time, in my opinion. Then Surging Magneton, last one up to $62 from 50. I think these are somewhere in the 200 range in PSA 10, but the quantity is down to 17 from 29. So these are disappearing quickly. The ones I would key in on is Twilight Masquerade by the PC ETBs. The price is not going to get any lower than it is now. And Surging Sparks, there's still time. These are $200, $250 ETBs. There's no reason for them not to be. Good promo, fantastic set. Get them while you can because the supply is drying up very quickly. And quite honestly, people are ripping them for the Magneton. So anyway, that's what we have for today. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We need some more subs here. You know, we just crossed 2,500, trying to get to 3,000. Hopefully by the end of January, and then just continue to build the base, and join the Discord. A ton of value going back and forth, and join just listen to some of the folks in general chat throwing around ideas, links to where we can buy some cheap products. So, guys, have a good one.